long before Kentucky Fried Chicken became a global icon, it all started right here in Kentucky with one man, one recipe, and of course 11 secret herbs and spices. Now fans have a once-in-a-lifetime chance to own a piece of that legacy. A Colonel Sanders auction is underway, featuring rare and unique items straight from the KFC history. Here with more is Bill Menish. He's the owner and principal auctioneer of Menish Productions. We are so excited for this. Oh my goodness.
Isn't this cool?
It's amazing. You brought some of the pieces with you today.
Know. This is normally getting the white glove treatment. I mean, literally, because these were like that. We'll talk about in a second, but these are selling for as high as $100,000 in other auctions. Really?
Oh my God.
It's a pressure cooker. We'll tell you when you're ready, but we're so excited about this auction.
I mean, how did this all come about? This is incredible.
Well, that's the beauty. And a lot of times when you're doing big auctions like this, these are folks that have collected, or they've gone out and found these items and they bring them to the auction. That is not this. This is family connected and oriented. And these have been in the basement of the Claudia Sanders restaurant, as well as the mansion there that's on site. And they just decided it's time. It's time to release these out to the public. And they reached out to us. So we not only are we doing the memorabilia, but we're also selling Claudia Sanders Dinner House and the mansion there on the property. So this is garnering so much attention. What are your guesses? We were walking through the hallway. I told her what I was here for. She said, I've seen you guys all over the internet.
Yeah.
And word is spreading like wildfire.
I mean, not just here locally in Kentucky. I mean, this is like national news.
Beyond national, worldwide.
True.
Yeah. We are in Canada, South America, Europe. The Asian market hasn't quite tapped in, and we expect that to come along because you know what? They worship Colonel Sanders and Kentucky Fried Chicken. So we're expecting, as we continue to grow, thanks to folks just like you, Elle, and get the word out there, that we think the following is even going to grow further.
I think so too. I mean, you literally have his ledger, and behind it there is some spices back there. We cannot confirm or deny that's a secret recipe. But I mean, his actual handwriting.
How about
is in there.
that penmanship?
True.
The man could write.
He can.
Colonel Sanders himself filled this out. He was very detail-oriented. We're talking about this day planner. This is 1964 on it. And he logged everything inside here. Now, I can't open it up and actually show you, but in the very back, as you just mentioned, there are 11. They're herbs. And they are spices, but there was a lawsuit in 2001 by, at that time, the owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken, who said, no, that is not the secret recipe. They said, my partner in crime here, Jonathan Klunk, says, they said that it was meant for a stuffing recipe and that someone made the stuffing and it was terrible. Ooh. So we will let the buyer of it decide what those really are.
And of course, the Colonel himself, he had his very own declaration here.
He was Harlan Sanders until in the 1930s he became a Kentucky Colonel.
So cool.
And a lot of people are Kentucky Colonels these days, but when he did it, he owned it. He no longer was Harlan Sanders. He was Colonel Sanders, and it stuck. And the white suit, which is a great story. Yeah. I think there's different interpretations, but I read he was at an interview somewhere way out in the Northwest, and the only suit he brought for that interview early on was a all-white suit, and he wore it, and somebody said, Colonel Sanders, white suit, and it stuck. And which, can I transition to the biggest surprise?
Yes.
Not only do we have the Colonel, this is, by the way, this is from the 1950s because they memorialized it, even though he originally got it in the 1930s, but this is the one and only right here of Colonel Sanders. But over here are his suspenders and his bow tie.
Can I pick up the bow tie?
Please do, because that's the biggest surprise.
This is
what's on the back. It's a clip-on.
It's a clip-on.
Isn't that a shocker?
It is.
The man known for those ties all around the world wore a clip-on tie every day. But then again, when you say it that way, he wore it every day. Wouldn't you want a clip-on tie and not have to tie that every day?
Yes, I would. Oh, it's perfect right then and there. Is this a watch right in front of us?
That is, yeah. So he bought that watch at the Oxmoor Mall, which I didn't even realize was that old.
Yeah.
But he did. In the documentation, forget the case. He had. We have 3 watches in there, but the watch does still work. It's one of 3. One of them belonged to Claudia Sanders, his lovely wife. And yeah, those are some great keeps. I love watches, so I'm going to be tempted to bid on that myself.
I know it. Of course, the pressure cooker.
So this is where, if you don't know KFC and his recipe and the transformation from Corbin, Kentucky, where he had his roadside basically stand that burned down, and then he rebuilt with a restaurant and an inn there. But the problem was, when people were driving on that stretch of road in Corbin way back when, they could stop and they had time. And it took about 30 minutes to fry up some fried chicken. Well, that's great when you got time, but if you don't, there's a problem. And we think about, you know, pressure cookers, that's mom and dad or grandma or great-grandma or whatever. That was cutting-edge technology back then, and the Colonel put it to use on his fried chicken. He turned that 30-minute wait into 10 minutes by using the pressure cookers. This one's unique because it has that stamp on it with his name, and he used to carry these around in the back of his car and take them to all the restaurants and teach them how to cook. Speaking of all the restaurants, I love it. I'm getting calls from all over the world right now.
I mean, you just had one before we got started here
Exactly.
today.
And one of my favorites was a woman that said, she's down in Florida now, retired, of course, and she said, my husband opened number 2, the KFC number 2. And I'm like, you're kidding, where? Kokomo, Indiana. I did the research. She's right.
Wow.
And that was so cool. I got chills just telling you about it because that's the connection. I'll tell you mine. How much time do we have left?
We've got a minute.
Okay, good. I worked at KFC.
You did?
Yeah, I've done a million of these interviews, and Elle, you're the first one I'm actually sharing this. I shouldn't tell this. I lied to say that I was 16 when I was really 15 years old, and I worked at the one on County Line Road in Greenwood, Indiana, just south of Indianapolis. But here's why I tell you that story. The Colonel came to visit us. I got to meet him.
No way.
And here I am all these years later, proud as can be to keep his memory, his awesome impact on so many others, his story. I'm an entrepreneur. He was the most incredible entrepreneur, the very first celebrity chef, for goodness sakes.
I mean, you see that bow tie right there, you know exactly who it is.
Exactly. He was so smart. He mastered marketing before marketing was even understood.
Yes, he did. So if people are interested in looking at the full collection, there's way more than just these items, let me tell you. How can people learn more and, of course, get their hands on these auction items, too?
Absolutely. Well, we have the website, claudiasanders.com, claudiasandersauction.com, sorry about that. Or you can go straight to the bidding site. If you want to register and bid, you can go to TMG, that's for our business name, the Menace Group, but TMGauctions.com will take you straight there. You can register, you can bid. We have, last I checked, was a little over 150 registered bidders, again, from all over the world. I really think that's going to double, if not quadruple, because we still have 2 weeks to go. And then this will be on-site and bidding online, live around the world. So I'll be the auctioneer, and we'll literally be getting bids from the room and from the world. It's going to be so much fun.
It is. How much of a full circle from the, the cash register to now working this auction? And
I got to say it, I worked here, too.
Yeah, you did.
I did in the 90s, yeah.
I love it, Bill. Thank you so much for sharing this little history lesson with us.
Thank you. I appreciate you having us on. We're very excited. Keep up the great work.
Thank you so much. So again, if you're interested in learning more, just head over to claudiasandersauction.com.